Hi, Carrie Berkey here. Today, I kind of want to talk about something that's a little bit serious, but I don't want it to be too heavy. But in all honesty, my existence talking to you right now is kind of based on this experience. So, I'm going to talk about a couple tips for kind of handling yourself spiritually, yogically, if you have a family member in the hospital. So 2 years ago, my oldest son, Simon, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And he had been presenting with some symptoms I just thought he had a bladder infection. And we went to the doctor's office to have him checked out, and they tell me he has type 1 diabetes. And my husband was out of town at the time. I had my younger son with me, and I just didn't even know what that meant. And they were like, we're going to send you to the hospital. Okay, so I'm thinking they're going to send us to the hospital. I was really thinking that it was going to be for like an hour or two, and they were going to get whatever levels up or down. I didn't know. And we're leaving the doctor's office, and he puts his hand on my arm, the doctor, and says, okay, well, go home and pack a bag because you're going to be there for a couple days. And I was like, and of course she was the mom, I just kind of kept it together because I'm standing in front of my son who just got this diagnosis. None of us have any idea what's going on. And we go home, we pack a bag, we go to the hospital, and he almost passed out right when we got there. Then I learned his blood sugar was 535. That meant nothing to me at the time. Found out it's supposed to be between 80 and 150. And he was in the emergency room, and then he got transferred to a room, and my husband had flown in, but he had to take my son home. My mom was there, but then she had to go, and then eventually, here it was, me and my son in our hospital room together. And I was so, overwhelmed, but you know how you kind of just jump into a situation, like it's so funny that you just kind of handle it, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't hard. So there was three big things in relation to what I teach that I want to share in case you find yourself in this situation. Honestly, they're all good for everyday living too, but they really, really helped me get through the whole 4 days that we're at the hospital with just a little bit more grace, a little bit more ease, and I think a lot less anxiety. Or I shouldn't say I know a lot less anxiety than I would have had when more of my practice was just like going to an hour yoga class, or even when you didn't have like a daily practice, or even that's why I try to share so much of this stuff that you can just bring in middle of your day all the time, small little quick things. That's what this is all about, because you'll find yourself in situations where you can't roll out a yoga mat, where you don't feel like doing a guided meditation or anything like that, and you need to have these kind of mindset things. Okay, so tip number one. Tip number one was, I'm going to strongly encourage you to create a connection with angels. If that is weird for you, maybe you have to think of some sort of help on like the energetic universal realm. I did not always work with angels. This is something that kind of slowly came into my life, but once it did, it's transformative. So this is how you would use it. You're in the hospital, a friend or family member is there, and you're like so concerned for them and you don't know what to do. What you can do is, ask, angels to come help. You can ask your guardian angel, you can ask for like a group of angels, and then imagine, you can do this just in your head. You can close your eyes and just imagine an angel or angels just surrounding your loved one and help them keep them safe. You can ask a couple things, like I asked, can you just fill him with white light? Can you fill him with peace? Because he was scared. You can say to fill them with hope, to have them fill them with like feelings of feeling loved, cared for, whatever comes to mind. And then you just imagine the angels around them, maybe even hugging them. Imagine them like surrounding them in light. And doing that empowers you and takes some weight off. Doing that helped me be able to fall asleep and kind of just feel that your family member is taken care of, wrapped in love, love from you, love from the universe. Okay, so tip 2 is to ask God to take away your worries. God might not be the term you use. I did not. I used it growing up, then I stopped using it. I'm back to using it. So God, spirit, universe. I have a friend that says Oprah, combination of Om and Oprah. And so whatever you do, Mother Earth, Gaia, I just want you to be open to, you see the divine, you see the universe, and you need to ask for help. This is for you personally, because you can't take all of this on. And so you could say, you know, universe, I know it's not my job to worry. Please take these worries away from me. And you need to kind of, you don't need to do anything, but you can imagine, like for me, I almost imagine like a magic wand at my back or at the top of my head, kind of drawing those worries out. They're not mine. That's your ego getting involved. They're not going to help you get anywhere. And you need to take some of that weight off you. If you feel like you carry a lot of stress in your shoulders and feel like that comes off your shoulders, that as soon as you ask that somebody has come up and take weight off your shoulders. Maybe it's a spirit animal that you work with, an animal guide. Maybe it's a ancestor or like a deceased family member that you can communicate with. Ask them, take your worries away. You might have to do this a lot while you're at the hospital. But if you notice yourself getting caught up, you have to remind yourself that that's not that productive. You have resources, unseen forces that you can't see that are there to help. You just need to ask and be open for it. Okay, and my third tip is called the Ego Eradicator Breath. And that is a Kundalini breath that, for one, helps remove ego, which, like I said, tied into the other thing, can help. Ego's going to make you worry. So this will help with that. And it's also good for giving you energy. So when I'd wake up in the hospital, I couldn't go get a cup of coffee. Well, maybe I could have, but I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave my son. So when I'd wake up and I wanted some energy, I would do this Ego Eradicator breath. And what is helpful, I'm going to link to another video of it. If you happen to be someone who doesn't want to do it because your arms are up in the air when you do it, you can do it without the arms in the air. And then it's more just like breath of fire. And it's a rapid inhale and exhale and a pumping of the stomach. And I'll just show you a quick version without the arms in the air. You close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. And then just quickly inhaling and exhaling. So inhale and exhale are the same length. Set a timer on your phone. Do that for 1 minute, 3 minutes. You know, if anybody asks you what you're doing, say you're doing a breathing exercise. That is helping you get rid of negative energy and actually give you energy for the day. Okay, those 3 things were a huge help while we were in the hospital. And then honestly, those 3 things are a huge help for my daily life since, because with my son, his illness is chronic. It's 24/7. It doesn't stop. And let me tell you, I do angel work. I ask God and guides, and even like my Nana Madeline, who I never met, asked to take my worries away. And then that Ego Eradicator breath is beautiful. Any breath work is beautiful. So angels, asking the universe to take your breath away. Take your breath away. No, take your worries away. And then Ego Eradicator breath, or any type of breath work, especially I share a bunch on here. Okay, so if you're watching this and you need this, then I'm sorry you have a friend or family member in the hospital, but know that you're not alone, and I'm sending you love. Take care.